focus on. What's the requirement in packages for an ambassador? It's 9. If you personally sponsor 10 people and all 10 have packages, you've met the requirements to run all the way to Crown Ambassador. From a package standpoint, the requirement caps out at 9. 10 is more than 9. So once you have 10 or more basic packages in your possession front line, you're ready now to build in volume. Now it's all about a volume run. Mr. Dalco, Mr. Betts, and any other leader in this company, I assure you they have far more than 9 packages direct to them. Now it's all about volume. That's why you hear most of the leaders focusing on volume. Because once you get I call it the dumb stuff out of the way, you can focus on the fun stuff. The fun stuff is the volume. Because every time that volume goes up, you're making more money. Remember, family, 18% off your first level. Imagine if you had $100,000 on your first level in volume, or 100 million, or 100, let's just say 100,000 in your first level. Now try $10 million on your first level. There's a young man that may be on this call, and I don't mean to shout him out, but I'm going to shout him out. He shared his goal with me and his sponsor, and it was humbling. His goal was $10 million in frontline volume. You see, he understands 18%. And when he looked at me and his sponsor, he smiled and he said, you know what? That'll generate $1.8 million for me and my family. Family, Mr. Best has said this a dozen times. We are thinking too small. You have to dream bigger because with this company, you can make as much money or as little money as you want. Now, here are the requirements. You've heard me talk about the 40% rule. You can only use 40%. For an executive, it's $40,000. For a director, it's $4,000. For an ambassador, it's $400,000. Once Crypto Steve gets to, let's call it $1.5 million in volume, if you're talking about the ambassador position, Mr. Dalco, who is Mr. Crypto Steve's sponsor, can only use $400,000 of that. But if Mr. Dalco is going for Crown Ambassador, which he's definitely going for Crown Ambassador, he can use every dime of that money. You see, family, we're aiming too low. Mr. Best has shared that with us. We're aiming far too low. Now you have the good fortune of seeing something that I love to do. We're going to switch gears. Mr. Dalco has agreed to share his screen. He's going to share the reports that are in your back office. I have to share this, family. The reports that are in this back office is what have a friend of mine who's been in the business. He hadn't done anything for 5 months. The moment that I did a Zoom meeting and showed him what was going on in just the back office alone, he got extremely excited. You see, this young man went to MIT. He's a nuclear engineer. When he saw the technology we have free of charge, he was blown away by the technology. He wanted to sit there and start talking about the technology. What we're going to share with you is there's a wealth of information back here. At any given point, you can click on any of the buttons in any of the reports, but there's one that I want to show you. I call it to get it for free. Mr. Dalco, if you'll be kind enough, sir, to page all the way down to the bottom. There's a pie chart down here, family, that I want to share with you. And this pie chart is what really got me excited and what really had me building. Stop right there, Mr. Dalco. Thank you, sir. We can go right there. Perfect. This tells you a story. And once you understand the numbers, the story will start screaming at you because it shows you all of the volume for all of your levels. And more importantly, it shows you the people that are in your organization at a glance. Now, this is great to know on the front end, but we're going to drill even deeper on the back end. But this one slide tells you so much information. And one of the things that Ms. Gillespie wanted me to share with her team, and one of the things, Mr. Dalco, if you'd be kind enough to do for me, if you'll be kind enough, sir, to go over to where it says sales volume and start and end. With sales volume, sir, right under, unfortunately, I can't control your mouth. Yes, sir, right up there and go to start and end, where we're going to change the month, Mr. Dalco. Yes, sir. And we're just going to go back in and we're going to click on May 1st and we'll look at May 31st. May 1st to May 31st. And I'm going to say congratulations before he even puts the numbers up. Mr. Dalco hit the position of ambassador in 9 days, family. 9 days. It doesn't take you that long if you know what you're doing. He did it in 9 days. Now, if you notice, once he hits refresh, if you would hit refresh for me, Mr. Dalco. You can hit the refresh in that box over there, sir. I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you, but it may refresh it for you. There you go. Hit refresh. We got to put our dates back in, Mr. Delk. I'm sorry. See, this is what happens when you don't give good instructions. One of the things that I will tell you, family, is I apologize because I know Mr. Delco's all on top of this stuff, and I'm just giving poor directions. Okay, if you hit that refresh button, sir, what this is going to do, family, he can only refresh his screen once every 5 minutes. When it refreshes, watch what happened the prior month. Now, keep in mind, Mr. Delco is crown bound, which means when he goes into his reports, he's just looking at the crown requirements. He's not worried about, global ambassador. He's not worried about ambassador. He's already hit ambassador. But look at the numbers right here, family. Oh my goodness. Look at the numbers, family. $11 million in a 30-day period of time. But if you count the infinity numbers, it's $12.9 million. That's unheard of. What Mr. Delco built last month, family, we're talking $12 million times 12. Wow. Mr. Delco, that's roughly $144 million business. It would qualify him on anybody's charts as having a big business. See, a big business, you could walk away and you're still getting paid. Family, do you see what I am talking about? Okay, I don't even want to talk about his first level number. Mr. Delco, I'm getting a headache looking at that first level number. Family, if you notice it, his first level number for last month, if this is not a misprint, that's $484,000. Don't tell me you can't get to $150,000. Mr. Delco already hit $484,000. But look at his second level number. It's $1 million. Now, let me share with you what's going to happen. After this training, I give it 90 days. Mr. Delco's frontline volume will be in excess of $1 million in 90 days. Because I was humbled when he shared this with me, but he never looked at it the way I look at it. And when I shared the numbers that I shared last night, he said, Mike, you got to do this training. Now I see why he wants me to do the training. He has $1 million on his second level, on his third level. He has $2 million on his fourth level, $2 million on his fifth level, $1 million on his sixth level, $1 million on his seventh level. Family, that's crazy. Now here's what I want you to understand. Once he takes $1 million to his front line, family, he can qualify as ambassador on frontline volume alone. Crown ambassador is done. It's already done. Now, Mr. Delco, if you'll be kind enough